Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Talk. I'm your host, Rahil. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is a platform for open minded individuals to come together, share ideas, share experiences so that we can learn from each other and grow as a society. If you're new to the channel, please click on that subscribe button, like, share. If you have any comments, leave them below so that we can reach more people and more people can come on and share their ideas and experiences. And if you would like to come on the channel, then get in touch with us. All our information will be in the description. And today, I'd like to introduce my guest, or who's been on the show. Welcome back, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me back, and I'm excited to be here.
No, it's a real pleasure having you back. And for those of you who are new or who haven't watched the video already, Or and I did a video a few weeks ago on Or sharing his experience as a gay man and some of the challenges he faced, and yeah, and a lot more. So if you would like to watch the video, I'll put the link of the video in the description. So please check it out. Now, while we did that video, Or briefly mentioned that as a kid or child, or while he was growing up, he was overweight. So we'd like to speak about a little bit about that, about eating disorders and the psychological impacts. And obviously, we're going to look at also the social side of things because that's what we do on the channel. Try to link everything. And Or let's begin straight from the beginning, as always. So, how did this start? When did this start? And what was the cause of it all?
I think that since I remember myself, since my earliest childhood memories, I remember of having this issue or difficulty, or let's call it like a challenge when it comes to my eating habits. I remember that from quite a young age, I realized that I am larger or bigger than other kids my age, and I understood that it's something that it's not supposed to be like that. That I have some sort of difficulty in that area, and that I learned that actually from my parents, especially from my relations with my mom. Let's say if I would find myself eat in certain quantities, I would get certain remarks that I should maybe stop, or that I'm eating too much. And at some point, I remember that I even started hiding the fact that I am eating. I mean, I didn't want to eat next to my family because I knew that I'm going to get these kind of remarks, and I wanted to eat. I assume, I mean, back then I didn't really knew why, but nowadays I know that it was some sort of compensation for actually getting these remarks and feeling bad about myself. I think that it all starts with comparison that we as a society do between us to other people. I mean, what is the right weight to be in? How do you supposed to look? What is right? What is wrong? What is better? What is worse? What is supposed to be mine or anyone else's goal in the way that they look, that we look. So I think that it started for me at a very young age. Looking back, even at years that I actually was not suffering from any kind of overweight issue, or even if I did, but let's say mildly, my feeling was that I have this kind of issue and problem, and that it's much, much bigger than what it actually is. When I reached junior high and high school, it actually became worse. I think that at this time, especially teenagers, you know, like sexuality comes outside, and you're starting to be much more aware to the way that you look, and to the fact that people are looking at you. And I remember that I gained in high school 30 kilograms. I finished my high school when I was 18, just before I was drafted to the army at 110 kg,
Wow.
which
Okay.
was I am not a tall guy. I am 1 meter and 73 centimeters.
Yeah.
So it's quite high, especially for that age. And like, you know, it's also the age that we build our self-esteem and
Yeah.
self-confidence, and it's very fragile at these ages. You're basically discovering who you are. And I remember that I felt that I want to be transparent. I mean, I want to eat in the dark, literally, to compensate, because it kind of it at the same moment, like any addiction, I believe that it gives you a certain comfort. I remember that I had not long ago a session with my life coach, and she told me that it's not eating. I think that I even mentioned it the last time that we talked briefly. It's not eating disorders; it's feeling disorders, because when you
Right.
feel not good about yourself, when you
Mm.
feel insecure or any kind of emotion that is uncomfortable, you want to compensate, you want to change it, you want to do something that will change that feeling, because it brings a lot of discomfort to just stay in it.
So, so it's
And the way
almost
that I
like
did it was with the food.
sorry, yeah. So it's almost like you're feeling a void by eating, right? If and I like the word. It's a feeling disorder because you feel low self confidence. You feel like something's missing in your life, and then you compensate that by eating. Was that the same? Was that the issues you were having at that age?
It's like a vicious cycle of me being overweight, feeling shitty about it,
Mm-hmm.
basically, and compensating myself through eating.
Mm.
It's like someone that has a alcohol problem or drug use issue. Then you're not feeling good about yourself. It doesn't have to be that I did not feel good about myself because of my weight. Anything that made me
Yeah.
discomfort, I would go to food as compensation.
Yeah.
Um, and the next few years for me were kind of up and down on the scale. I managed to drop a few tens of kilograms, and then I gained everything back and more. I started the army, and then I lost some, I think 20 or 30 kilograms,
Wow.
and then I gained again, and even reached to 125, and then did something with myself that I really wanted to change. So I lost the weight again, and I gained it again after a few years, because there was something fundamental
Mm-hmm.
inside of me that was not really treated. At the age of 28, I reached to a weight of 150 kilograms. That was a new low for me. It reached to a point that I mean, back in the day, I had a successful business. I was doing good at work. I had a big cycle of friends, but there was even a bigger void inside of me to fill, because it was something that was really untreated.
Yeah.
That that incapability of mine to uh, um, to find another way to feel good about myself besides eating.
Right.
And at that point, it reached to like a new low. I could not function literally. I suffered from sleep apnea, which is suffocating in your sleep.
Yeah.
I couldn't put shoes by my own. I couldn't reach it.
It's so
My
hard to
feet.
believe, man. It's really hard to
Hard to
believe you
believe.
being, yeah. Because I mean, you look
Um,
great right now, so I'm sure you've done a
thank
lot of
you.
work. So
Yes, I have.
was that the point where something clicked and you said that this is it now, I have to change, or did this continue for a bit longer?
At this point, I decided that I'm gonna turn for external help, because I couldn't. handle it myself anymore.
Okay.
I've done a gastric bypass
Okay.
to lose all of the weight. And
Sorry, just for viewers who might not be aware of what that is, just a quick explanation what that actually means.
So a gastric bypass is a surgery that they basically, there are a few types of a gastric bypass. What I did, which is extremely common, it's called the sleeve. So basically what they do, they cut 80% of the stomach and they sew it back, and it leaves a very small surface and stomach, so it can expand again. But just for comparison, it's like if I have a balloon and I cut 80% of the rubber and I sew it back, and then I try to put air in the balloon and make it larger. I can do that, but the surface of the rubber that I have is much smaller. So that is the advantage of this surgery. And also in the same part that they took out, there is the hormone that controls the hunger. And it takes the body a year to 2 years to develop it back. So you actually get a gift of a year to 2 years that literally you're much less hungry. And it gives you an opportunity to actually learn how to eat again, learn how to build your own eating habits from scratch.
Right.
That will work, but at that point, I also understood that if I'm not going to do mental and psychological change within me and understand where it's all coming from, then it's just going to happen again.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to stop you before you continue, just to point out one thing that you said, that you reached a point where you're low and you didn't know where to go and you seeked help, right? It doesn't matter what kind of help it is. And I think a lot of people they have, I don't know, maybe a fear or are shy, or they're not confident enough to seek for help, or it could even be an ego thing. There's plenty of reasons. But for those of you who are going through any issues in life, it doesn't matter if it's psychological, financial, whatever, it's always okay to seek for help from your friends, family, professionals, and especially linking back, because we've spoken a lot about mental health, especially everything. For me, at the end of the day, all these issues go back to your brain, your mind, right? Everything that it controls everything. And it's so important when you're stuck in a situation like yours that you have to go out and seek help, whether it's from your family, friends, or a professional. So I just wanted to highlight that point for any of the viewers who are hopefully still with us and watching the video, that if you are in that situation, then please don't feel shy or scared to ask for help, because there's plenty of people out there who will be willing to help you. Sorry, yes. So after the surgery, you said going back, you could always, fall back into the same routine, right? And that you have to work on your mental, psychological issues to overcome that.
Yes, exactly. And at that point, I realized I also got help from a life coaching method that I'm actually using for my personal life, and it helped me a great deal. It can be basically anything, but like any form of mental emotional help. But I started digging in and understand, and I understood that it all lays in the past.
Also, like when we're talking about this, I think it's very important to distinguish. We're talking about appearance, not health, right? So those are two different things. Like if you're overweight, yes, it's not healthy, but your trauma, if I may call it, that's what it is, right? From a childhood, is more based on the fact about appearance, right? The society, your family, they kept on, commenting about your parents, and that was where it all stemmed from. Am I correct in that?
You are correct. I can share something very personal, like one of my strongest childhood memories. I think I was about 5 or 6,
Yeah.
and we were having like a family dinner, like with the extended family, to like let's say about 20 people. And I remember that I asked to get another portion,
Yeah.
and I remember my mom getting really upset at me in front of my whole family that I even want to do that, and saying to me basically no. And it comes from a place that she wanted to protect me, obviously,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she understood that maybe proportionally I shouldn't eat as much or whatever, but it's not about that. It's just about the way that you feel when something like this happens, when you realize that you're doing something that is wrong, or
Yeah.
that you are something that is wrong. um, and that kind of escalated everything,
So,
to the way that I
for
look at food, to the way that I look at
wow.
food. Yeah,
And someone might say it's such a small thing, right? Just one incident, but as children, I think we pick up everything, and even
of
if
course.
even if that's small. So if, let's say, if she did it in a different way, right? Because I think, like you said, she is trying to protect you. It's just the way she's done it, right? So if she did it in maybe took you on the side in a calmer way and just explained to you why it might not be good for your health, or or whatever the reason is, do you think that would have changed basically your the rest of your life, the way it would have panned out?
No, and I'll tell you why not. Because as a child, you're inexperienced and you don't have knowledge, but you're not stupid.
Right.
You
Yeah, yeah, of
are
course, children are
you
smart.
are you are a human being with feelings, and you basically learn to shape your world. So there isn't anything wrong with a 6-year-old that is just asking to get another portion, even if he's a little bit overweight.
Yeah.
And like so this is what I've realized now. I'm 35 today. I have a nephew that is 18 months old.
Hmm.
And for example, me and my sister, my sister didn't suffer from the same weight issues,
Yeah.
but also her, like we grew up in the same house, and her view and vision about these things was influenced from the same factors, like as me.
Hmm.
So now, from an adult point of view, I can say that we shouldn't deny from our children their needs, their wishes, especially when we're talking about something like that. I mean, it's not like
It's a
I
small
wanted
thing.
to.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very normal thing. It's a small thing.
Yeah.
It's something very trivial to happen, and I mean that is only one memory. It's not that everything lays on this memory,
Yeah.
but the fact is that I'm 35 today,
And you still
and
remember it.
it burned in my mind in this way, that this is what I remember.
Yeah.
This is what I remember.
But I'm just like trying to keep a balanced discussion here, right? Because I'm sure some people will say that, yeah, I mean, kids want everything. You can't give them whatever they want, like even if it's a small thing. Maybe parents they're just trying to protect their children so that when they grow older they don't have health issues, right? So do you think there's an argument there, or is that
I,
related
I,
to
I,
you?
I understand. I understand completely the principle that you're talking about. Of
Yeah.
course it is. Of course it is true, but it cannot come at the expense of embarrassing
Yeah. Okay.
your child, for example, or it
Yes.
cannot come at the expense of making them uh, uh, feel less of themselves. Because
Okay.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, the
100%.
damage when that happens is much larger. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I know in full heart that my mom, in this incident and in many other incidents, uh, um, she had the best intention,
Yeah.
the
Of
best
course.
intention. But
Yeah.
I think that also as we grow older and the world is changing, and then we start to realize, not only on this matter, but we start to realize that many other in many other aspects, that our behaviors, what we are projecting to our children, actually is shaping who they are. So it's really important to ask, like what is important for me?
Yeah.
What is important for me that my child will actually learn, and to do it in a way that is effective and positive.
No. Okay. No. Okay. I just wanted to clear that out, and exactly, I knew that that was the point you were trying to make. Um,
Yes.
I just Now, thank you so much for sharing that personal experience. I know a lot of people wouldn't be brave enough to do that, so thank you for that. I appreciate that, and I hope people out there can take a thing or two. And speaking of that, as a whole, with your whole experience of this feeling disorder, I'm going to call it that now. I really like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what has been your experience? And through your experience, like you said, this channel is about learning. So, what advice or what suggestion could you give to the viewers out there about this whole perception and how, like to take care of what and how you treat your children, and then also about body images, which we spoke about earlier?
Okay, so if I'm talking, for example, right now to parents that would like to maybe educate their children in the best way possible in this aspect, then first of all, I will tell them that education is important. Education is important, but at the end of the day, a child, like I said earlier, he's not stupid. He can understand if he's being taught something, and if you explain something with reason, then a child will understand. But if you force something,
Yeah.
for example, asking a child to do something because you are his parent, I'm not saying that you cannot be tough on discipline
Yeah.
on some points, but
That
in
cannot be the
in
only reason. That's what you're trying
yes,
to say, right?
exactly,
Just
exactly,
because I'm your
exactly,
father or mother, that can't be the only reason why
exactly,
you need to
exactly,
understand. You need to make them understand where you're coming from.
exactly. So that is about that, and about the body image that you're talking about. I mean, I really think that nowadays, especially in the modern age with social media and with there is a lot of worship in the world for like achieving the best body and looking at your best. And like, at the end of the day, it's something that it's so vain, and it's something that really superficial,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really last. It doesn't really last. It doesn't last in relationships. It doesn't last in anything. And
Yeah.
if it's only that, it really gives you something that you cannot hold for long. You
Yeah.
cannot hold for long. And like, I really think that part of the diversity is really accepting everything that comes with love and acceptance and tolerance, and you can find beauty in so many different things. And obviously, health is something that is important, and it's important to develop healthy eating disorders, but it's also important to develop healthy feeling disorders, which means to actually deal with your emotions when they come, and not to run away
Yeah.
to places that you just want to compensate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And just to add on that, all these people you're seeing on social media who look like, the perfect body, these people, most of them, it's their jobs to look good. So if you look at actors, actresses, it's part of their job. They give their hours and days into that. So it's not normal. It's part of their job, and that's why they do it, and that's why they look that good, because they have to dedicate all of this. But also, I think, because the way social media has portrayed these people, that you have to look like that, I think we need a little bit of change. So actors and actresses don't always have to look that good, like in shape and fit. You can show, like, you've seen so many movies and characters where not everyone's looking, you has a six pack and looks amazing, because that's not
Mm-hmm.
reality. Not everyone can achieve that, especially in the world we live in where we have so much going on. And I mean, yeah, whenever you're watching this video, I don't know where you are, but there's a lot of issues right now in the world. And I'm sure whatever point you're watching this video, you will find issues somewhere. So everyone has a tough life, career, family, relationships, and to maintain all that, plus to maintain this perfect, and I'm putting that in quotation marks because that's what the media tells us it is, the perfect way to look, is almost impossible. So yeah, basically what you said, love yourself, love your body for what it is, and love your family, friends for how they look. It's cliche, but it's true. The beauty is from the inside, and that's what you're supposed to appreciate most. Or thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we conclude this amazing chat?
No, I think that you actually summarized it very well. And
Thank you.
the last thing that I would like to add is that I know that if there are, I mean, I would love that also parents can actually see it and also take like maybe a word of advice on how they approach their children when it comes to eating habits. And for the younger crowd, uh, it's such an old
Younger
thing to
than us,
say.
or like,
No, like
are we
like
part of
for
that?
the younger, yes, for the younger crowd than us, we are still very young, yes, but for the younger
Yeah.
crowd, I
Yeah.
know in this life that like if you take me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, uh, I did not see and I did not understand a lot of the things that I see and understand today. Um, because it's part of the changing life experience. I really hope for everyone to keep their minds open, keep their hearts open, and to realize that as we grow older, the life experience change, and we can also be open and learn new things about ourselves. Such as the wonderful topic that we just talked about, and actually change perception.
Brilliant. I think I'm going to end it at that. That's just an amazing way to end it. Thank you so much, Or. I really appreciate you coming on. And thank you to all the viewers who are still tuned. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you would like to get in touch with us or come on the channel, all our information will be in the description. And please click that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already, so that we can push this channel to more people and have more people come on and share their views and experiences. Until next time, take care, everybody, and see you soon. Goodbye.